Mama June, from not to hot, Pumpkin nearing her limits, about to collapse. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Mama June, Lauren Shannon, also known as Pumpkin, is having difficulty managing her life, according to updates from Not to Hot. Will her anxiety cause her to lose it on the Bumyede reality spin-off? Mama June, Pumpkin Shannon losing it, from Not to Hot. Pumpkin Shannon discusses how overburdened she feels by life. With 2 kids, the 20-year-old mother is essentially raising them alone. As seen on Mama June, from Not to Hot, she is raising her adolescent sister Alana Thompson in addition to her 2-year-old daughter with her spouse, Josh Eford. And if all of that wasn't distressing enough, Pumpkin's other sister is homeless. Josh is shocked to learn that Jessica Shannon has been invited to move in with the couple by his wife. The troubled couple's difficulties will only become worse with her younger sister sleeping on the couch. Since moving into their new home, Josh and Pumpkin have only fought. On Mama June, from Not to Hot, Alana, often known as Honey Boo Boo, is even more concerned that the pair may be divorced. Josh works 5 days a week away from home, yet they still adore each other. Pumpkin is forced to raise 2 children as both a mother and a father. For her age, Alana exhibits maturity. However, Pumpkin needs to pursue Honey Boo Boo in order to do her schoolwork and assist with house cleaning. Alana can only get emotional support from her. Therefore, even though Pumpkin misses Josh while he is away, her anxiousness over Mama June causes her to snap at him, from cold to warm. Is Mom going to prison now? Regarding Mama June, her Alabama court date has been pushed up from Not to Hot. It's highly likely that June and her partner Gino Doak will be booked into jail right away. June is going to come up at Pumpkin's house without warning or invitation. Even so, there's no guarantee she'll be permitted into the home. Pumpkin's anxiety will only rise as a result of this visit. Pumpkin Shannon isn't ready to forgive her mother just yet, even if June and Gino have been clean for 7 months. She is unable to trust her mother. But without a doubt, June's sentencing to prison would cause Mama and the rest of the family even more suffering. June, warm to spicy. Mother June, Pumpkin Shannon has no place to turn when it gets too hot. Since June's demise, Pumpkin Shannon is solely dependent on herself. On Mama June, from Not to Hot, she is compelled to take on the role of matriarch of the broken family. Support is provided by June's sister, Dee Dee Shannon. She isn't there to support Pumpkin in her day-to-day problems, though. Despite the numerous issues her family has encountered, Pumpkin has managed to remain composed. But it appears like she might be about to lose it now. Maybe she'll ask Dr. Ish for assistance. He might advise her to speak with a specialist. Watch this fascinating wet reality series to find out what happens to Pumpkin and her family moving forward. The life of June Shannon, affectionately known as Mama June, had always been a whirlwind of ups and downs. Through every high and low, her daughter Lauren Pumpkin Eford had been a steadfast pillar of strength. However, the relentless pressures and responsibilities of family life were beginning to take their toll on Pumpkin, pushing her to the brink. This is the story of how Pumpkin found herself at the end of her rope, struggling to hold her family together while teetering on the edge of a breakdown. Pumpkin's life had never been easy. Growing up in the spotlight, dealing with her mother's numerous scandals and struggles, and raising her own young family had been an immense burden. Yet Pumpkin had always managed to keep her head above water, balancing her roles as a daughter, sister, wife, and mother with remarkable resilience. But recently, the weight of these responsibilities had become almost unbearable. June's continued battles with addiction, legal troubles, and the media's relentless scrutiny were a constant source of stress. Pumpkin found herself taking on more and more of the family's responsibilities, trying to shield her younger sister Alana, known to the world as Honey Boo Boo, from the chaos. One evening, as Pumpkin sat in her small, cluttered kitchen, the enormity of her situation hit her like a tidal wave. She had just put her daughter Ella to bed and was now facing a mountain of unpaid bills and household chores. Her husband Josh was working long hours to make ends meet, leaving Pumpkin to manage everything on her own. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered to herself, tears streaming down her face. The signs of strain were becoming increasingly apparent. Pumpkin's once vibrant energy was now replaced by exhaustion to find the time and energy to care for her daughter, maintain her home, and support Alana, who was navigating her own teenage challenges. Alana, noticing her sister's distress, tried to help where she could, but it was clear that the burden was too much for Pumpkin to bear alone. One afternoon, as they sat together in the living room, Alana voiced her concerns. "Pumpkin, you need to take a break. You're doing too much," Alana said, her voice filled with worry. "I can't, Alana. There's too much to do. I have to take care of you, Ella, and everything else. Mama's not around to help," Pumpkin replied, her voice breaking. "We can figure it out together. Maybe we can ask someone for help," Alana suggested. But Pumpkin shook her head. "Who would we ask? We don't have anyone else." Despite her reservations, Pumpkin knew that Alana was right. She couldn't continue to shoulder all the responsibilities alone. Reluctantly, she decided to reach out to her Aunt Dodo, June's sister, who had always been a source of support for the family. Dodo arrived at Pumpkin's house the next day, immediately sensing the overwhelming stress that her niece was under. She pulled Pumpkin into a comforting hug. "Pumpkin, honey, you look exhausted. What's going on?" Dodo asked gently. Pumpkin sighed, her shoulders sagging with relief. "I just can't do it all anymore, Aunt Dodo. I'm trying to take care of everyone, but it's too much. I don't know what to do." Dodo nodded understandingly. "You don't have to do it all by yourself, sweetheart. We're family. Let me help you." With Dodo's assistance, Pumpkin felt a small weight lifted off her shoulders. Dodo helped with the household chores, took care of Ella, and provided emotional support. It was a relief to have someone to lean on, but the underlying stress and anxiety still lingered. Despite Dodo's help, the root of Pumpkin's stress remained unresolved. Her mother's erratic behavior and absence. June's struggles with addiction and legal issues had created a void in the family, leaving Pumpkin to pick up the pieces. Determined to confront the issue, Pumpkin decided to visit June at her rehab facility. She needed to express her feelings and urge her mother to take responsibility for her actions. When Pumpkin arrived, she found June sitting in a small, sterile room, looking frail and tired. They hugged awkwardly before sitting down to talk. "Mama, we need to talk," Pumpkin began, her voice trembling with emotion. June looked at her daughter, guilt and sadness in her eyes. "I know, Pumpkin. I've put you through so much. I'm so sorry. Mama, I can't keep doing this on my own. I need you to get better and come home. Alana needs you, Ella needs you, and I need you," Pumpkin said, tears streaming down her face. June reached out and took Pumpkin's hand. "I promise you, I'm doing everything I can to get better. I know I've let you down, but I want to make it right." Despite June's promises, her recovery was a long and difficult process. There were setbacks and moments of doubt, and Pumpkin continued to feel the strain. She often found herself lying awake at night, overwhelmed by anxiety and the fear that things would never get better. One particularly challenging evening, Pumpkin broke down in front of Josh. She had been trying to prepare dinner, but the stress and exhaustion had become too much to bear. "I can't do this anymore, Josh. I feel like I'm falling apart," she sobbed, collapsing into his arms. Josh held her tightly, his heart breaking for his wife. "Pumpkin, you don't have to do it alone. We're in this together. We'll get through it." With Josh's support, Pumpkin found the strength to keep going. They devised a plan to manage their responsibilities more effectively and sought the help of a therapist to work through their stress and anxiety. The therapy sessions proved to be a turning point for Pumpkin. She learned strategies to manage her stress and set boundaries to protect her mental health. She also realized the importance of self-care and began to carve out time for herself, even if it was just a few minutes each day. With the help of Dodo, Josh, and her therapist, Pumpkin slowly began to find a sense of balance. She started to delegate tasks and accept that it was okay to ask for help. The weight of her responsibilities began to feel more manageable. Alana, too, noticed the positive changes in her sister. "Pumpkin, you seem a little better. Are you feeling okay?" she asked one afternoon. Pumpkin smiled, a genuine smile for the first time in weeks. Yeah, Alana, I'm starting to feel a little better. We're going to be okay. After months of intensive treatment, June was finally ready to come home. Her recovery was far from complete, but she was determined to rebuild her life and her relationships with her children.